What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. 4 o'clock this morning. I wake up. I can't sleep. I'm looking at Twitter. I've had a text message off family members. And long story short, I understood and was believed to understand that a deal for Allan and James had been agreed. Both of them agreed in principle. Everton, it appears it is correct. It appears that it's breaking now all over social media on Twitter that both deals have been agreed for James Rodriguez and Allan. So I wanted to get a quick video out with John just to talk about how excited we are about adding the two of those. Now, look, they're not over the line yet. They've got to pass medicals. I understand the deals for the financial elements are agreed. I understand their contracts are agreed. I think it's going to be €4.5 million for James, and I think it's slightly less for Allan, but we will see. Either way, they are two huge additions to our midfield. John, let's get you involved, mate. How are you feeling right now, you dirty man?
Well, I'm excited to get two players of this calibre over the line. They massively improve our team. We've said this many, many, many times. Makes me wonder, I was speaking to you before, if we bring Decore in, we've got these two players in. Obviously, there's going to be a number of midfielders who have been playing regular for Everton over the last 2 seasons, surplus to requirements. Who goes, who stays, But listen, these are two massive deals for Everton. I hope we get it over the line. As you say, it's medicals pending. There was a medical booked in this week for a player. We don't know who it was. You've heard that. I heard that last week. I thought it would have been done by now. Spoke to someone, and he said the reason why the medicals haven't been done, that was booked in for, was because Everton have struggled to get these deals over the line. They were trying to knock the money off. The ball was in Everton's court, Michael. These players have come out and said they want to play for Everton under Carlo Ancelotti. The Juventus come in for Allan, I think it was yesterday. It was basically a point-blank no. And this is great for a player to knock back Juventus and want to come to Everton. And now, this is showing now that Carlo Ancelotti effect is kicking in at Everton. Players want to come to Everton now to play for Ancelotti. It's absolutely fantastic news. If it's true, if we can get it over the line, let's just hope Everton don't Everton it.
Yeah, you're spot on. And I think, look, let's just break down what both players bring. They're both 29. I know James was definitely in the last year of his contract, so I don't know about Allan at Napoli. But the simple fact of the matter is, Allan is a workman. He will graft. He will get in people's faces. He'll put a foot in. He's got a good distribution of pass on him, and he's aggressive. And that's something Everton lack in the centre of the park, because, let's be honest, Gylfi Sigurdsson, for a lot of that season, does very little. Tom Davies, look, I'm not saying Tom Davies isn't aggressive. He can be aggressive at times, but usually he makes a mistake while being aggressive. Allan won't necessarily do that. He's a cleaner footballer, and he brings that ability to get the ball, walk out or run out a little bit and get it to our better attacking players up front, which is what Everton have lacked in the centre of the park. Allan is a massive, massive signing for Everton Football Club, John.
Yeah, you mentioned Tom Davies there, and he will put a foot in, but the difference between Allan and Tom Davies is massive for me. He's got a turn of pace, Allan. He's quite quick once he gets going. If he can get away from his marker, he can pick that pass out. But also with the aggressiveness that Allan's got, he brings quality. He brings quality, whereas Tom Davies, all he has is a little bit of an engine, but he doesn't really do much with it apart from getting in the opposition's face and putting a tackle in. Allan brings quality with his. So for me, massively improves. I'm excited now. I just hope we can, as you said there, these deals look like they're done. We're not saying they are done, but listen, this is the most positive news we've heard along the lines of Rodriguez and Allan. And listen, it could be a joint announcement, and how good would that be?
Yeah, exactly. And let's move on to Rodriguez, because I want to keep this video fairly short for people. Rodriguez, what does he bring? One of the things Carlo Ancelotti said at the start of the window, and even when he come in, is he wanted a player who could play on the right and cut in on his left foot. And he goes and delivered James Rodriguez, potentially. A player who he signed twice. A player that in 28 games for Bayern Munich scored 14 goals and 14 assists. We always remember the goal in the World Cup where he takes it on his chest and volleyed it left-footed, and it won the goal of the tournament. Everton are signing a player with, I'm not going to say he's world class because he hasn't played at that level in a while. He only made 8 appearances for Real Madrid. But what I am saying is we are bringing in a proven player at top level who we know can score goals. We know he's creative. We know has got skill. And we know he's a gazillion times better than anything we have in our side.
And also, he's took a pay cut to come and play for Everton, Michael. That's a big bonus for me as well. You know, how many players have done that in the past, you know? And listen, me and you had a great conversation the other day, and we were proper laying into Everton. We were laying into brands, you know, saying, get these deals over the line. Listen, it's easy for us to sit there. Everyone has an idea of the financial situation at Everton. Are they going to now, you know, take the hit? Because if you add to Corey, if you put James Rodriguez and you put Allan, I think it adds up to like over 60 million, which is the total that we'd heard we have to spend. Are we spending, hoping we ship players out to balance it a bit, or are we going to take the hit? But I'll say, you know, the excitement of bringing players like this to Everton, we were slagging them off the other day, and then all of a sudden this news starts to break today, and all of a sudden we're like a dog with 2 dicks, Michael. You know, it's excitement. They massively improve us, both of us. The midfield is massively improved, which in my opinion will also help the centre forwards. Now, if Moise Kean remains at the club, these players who we're bringing in will improve him because he can play off that. Whereas when you're Moise Kean, you've come to Everton, listen, I've said about Moise Kean and his attitude may be wrong, and he's come from Juventus and he was up for the young player. But when you've got a midfield behind you that consists of Gylfi Sigurdsson and Tom Davies and Fabian Delph and Schneiderlin before he left, you're going to struggle as a centre forward. When you've got quality behind you, it makes him a better player because they will supply the ammunition for him. So in a way, if we can get these 3 midfielders in, it'll be like having 4 new players, if you see what I mean, because these players will dramatically improve Moise Kean.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there is a rumour that he could be going to Juve for some form of deal, some form of loan deal. But then apparently it could be a player swap loan deal. Everton want. So what I did last night is when I woke up is I went through the Juve Twitter feeds. You know, I was there translating everything from Italian to English, and a name kept cropping up. And that name, weirdly enough, was Aaron Ramsey. Now,
I can't see us bringing an Aaron Ramsey in if we're getting to Corey, Allan and Rodriguez.
I can only see Everton bringing in Aaron Ramsey if we're not getting to Corey, and Juve paying 75% of his £400,000 salary. Yeah. Now, Everton have already shipped out, I think it's 13 players in total, releasing about £180,000 in weekly wages so far, Schneiderlin being the biggest one that we know of. As you say about potentially being almost a financial play shit or bust, almost, you know. We either go and absolutely smash it and take a hit and are able to move players on. They're the options. They are the options. Now, what I said to you the other day in the car is what I think will happen, which was, I think Premier League clubs are going to struggle. It's going to go towards the last few days of the transfer window, and they're going to go, right, I need a centre midfielder. Who is available? Well, Everton have signed 3 midfielders. So hang on, who have they got in the ranks? Oh, they've got a Gylfi Sigurdsson. The season before last, he scored 10 goals. You know, they've got a Tom Davies, young, hungry. Maybe we can bring him in. You know, and I'm not saying these could be permanent deals. I would love them to be. But just getting their wages off the books helps us pay the wages of what we're spending out. Now, another person that I think Everton, if Everton do go and sign 3 midfielders, James Rodriguez, Allan and Decore, I don't think Everton bring in a right back. And the reason I think they play Kenny. Now, I don't want them to, but if you're saying to me, we've done this, we spoke about this in the tier list video, and I'm not going to give away where I put Everton, but I think we massively improve defensively and attacking wise by fixing the middle of the park.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, Allan can come back and help out the back. Whereas if you look at the players we've got there now, they're not really up to that. So that midfield with Allan there can drop back as well, you know. And before we come on, I meant to mention to you before, I did see something today that Fulham are linked with Gylfi Sigurdsson. Now, if Gylfi Sigurdsson, listen, the likes of Gylfi Sigurdsson, your Fabian Delphs, your Tom Davises, we've got Gabarman to come back if he ever makes it. They will become surplus to requirements. Now, John Joe Kenny come out, going back to what you said about him, and said he's enjoyed it since he's been back at Everton. He's already learned a lot off Ancelotti. Maybe Ancelotti will give him a season at Everton, I don't know. But what I will say, if we go out and get these three midfielders in, I can see our next couple of transfer windows being quite quiet.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think we have to get this window right, because if we don't, it fucks us again. But with the players that we're bringing in, I'm confident of getting this window right. Whereas in the past, when you panic buy an Iwobi, that doesn't fill me with confidence. But the calibre of players that we're looking to bring in this window, we have to get it right, because there's not going to be a second chance. We're not going to be able to spend big in the up-and-coming windows after this. So for me, we have to hit the ground running with these players. Let Ancelotti get his ideas across to the squad that he already has at his disposal. A full pre-season, well, a short pre-season, but, you know, the players have already been learning off Ancelotti since he's been at the club. These three players for me, and again, I won't give away where I've put Everton in the tier list. I've put them lower than what you have. Yeah. But with these three players, if we would have signed these three players or have been this close when we done the tier list video, I wouldn't have put them where I've put them, because for me, it's exciting. It improves us. It will push us up the table. And listen, the likes of your Allan, the likes of your Rodriguez would not be pushing and saying they want to come to Everton if they hadn't heard good things, if they hadn't heard where Ancelotti wants to take the club. So now it's becoming all positive. Yeah.
And I kind of want to end on this point, because I've always been very quick to slag off Brands. So if Brands gets these deals over the line, firstly, I want to take hat off to him. Well done. He's listened to Carlo Ancelotti. Now I'm starting to question whether it was actually Marco Silva that got the transfer window wrong last year, talking to him and saying what he wanted. And yes, Brands didn't deliver Zuma. It was on a spreadsheet. He confirmed that. We know that he let us down there. But Carlo Ancelotti has clearly gone to him. I want you to go and get X, Y, and Z. And it looks like he's going to deliver X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we look good. And the other player, you did mention a player there that I want to touch base on, and that was Jean-Philippe Gabarman. This is a guy that can also play centre-back. So all of a sudden, you've addressed the situation, because he did play 15 games at centre-back the season before we signed him. So all of a sudden, I'm thinking, well, do you know what? Branthwaite can go to Watford or someone on loan. We let Gibson in. I know we've got different opinions about those two, but hear me out. One of them goes out on loan. We've still got that cover, because he will be getting fit. And look, yes, fair enough, his injury record's not great. But I trust the youngsters that we've got. When I saw Gibson and we've seen Branthwaite, I trust them to come in for 2 or 3 games if required. I trust them. And I trust if we needed Gabarman to step back, because we've got Allan in the middle of the park. I all of a sudden go, do you know what? We could have a fucking good season here. Brilliant.
I think, and listen, people who watch the channel, you included, who I talk to a lot, will back me up when I say Pickford for me has been absolutely fucking shocking, right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to look at it now. The midfield that will look like we're bringing in improves the defence.
Yeah.
So there's confidence in the midfield. That midfield also improves the forwards for the forward play.
Yeah.
You've got Allan who can tackle back, help the midfield, the defence out. So that gives them confidence, which then relays back to the man behind the defence. So all of a sudden, you've got confidence, and it rubs off. Now, you only have to go on a run when these players have bedded in of winning 3, 4, 5, 6 games, and the confidence will lose out the teams, out the team, out the squad. Pickford won't be fucking up again with them mistakes, and I don't think he'll be as smarmy because I think Ancelotti will have got onto that. I think Duncan will have got hold of him as well. Don't think you'll see that from Pickford this season. And all of a sudden, it feels good to be a Blue.
Exactly. John, I'm leaving it there because I've decided I'm getting this video out right now. So, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. I think now is the time to do it because it's just broken. We'll strike what the irons are. Guys, thank you ever so much. You've been fucking brilliant lately. Subscribing, liking all the videos. The channel's flying. It's all down to you, and we fucking love you. Guys, peace.